You've been listening to the podcast, The New Author, Uncle MeShorn, I'm Not Your Black, from Louisville, Kentucky. This conversation, the family, you're my family. It's time for us to wake up and come.
Just as a queen needs to have a king to have any claim to sovereignty, the king needs to have a queen to keep being a king.
Now, my thing to you would be, who's telling you that you can't? It's not the system. It's you. Are you ready to grow you into the individual that you desire to become?
You are now part of our family. And our family is not based on color. Our family is based on spirit. Spirit, truth, wisdom, and understanding.
I even told MeShorn that we need to have some kind of dialogue, discourse group that's interested in discussing the topic and how people feel about the fact that you don't identify with being called black. The negative construct with this race card that was created to divide. So no, I'm not going along with that paradigm. I am not your black America at all. You know, I have West Indian, I have African, I have Portuguese, I have a lot of ethnicities, including within my family, that I also have Chinese, East Indian. We have a lot of mixes. That's what Jamaica stands for. One nation, one people. So I love the fact that MeShorn addressed that. I was born in London, UK. When we were coming up as children, we didn't have that thing called black. I don't know, you know, that was the American construct. And this thing called white. We were just children growing up. We understood, you like me, you want to play with me, we good. We went by you as a person. I grew up, London is not like America. This is a total different world. I'm still in culture shock, to be honest with you. Yes. The bottom line is it was an artificially created state. And I'm so appreciative that MeShorn is putting it out there. I hope he becomes a bestseller, the race card like America has played, which is very, very insulting, debilitating, and limiting. I've met so many African Americans, and I could see that they are very troubled in living in a pluralistic world where they have worked in corporate world and they feel they got to conform a certain way. They got to say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, which I do not do, because that to me is a form of servitude and overtures of slavery. So I refuse to call anyone that, just so you know. I'm not calling you mama, and I'm not going to call you sir, period. And they know. I've even had white folks say, oh, you're very well read, you're very put together. I'm like, well, how the hell am I supposed to be? I don't tell them. I'm 64 years old, so I was born in the baby boom age, where it was very obvious that African Americans were very traumatized. This stuff, we all need therapy. I've been working on myself for decades. Everybody needs therapy, including white folks too. I thank him so much for serving, because I came to this country because of military. I love what MLK said. I love Dr. Martin Luther King for saying, you should judge a person by the content of their character, their heart. My mother taught us the importance of judging a person by their character. She had good friends from all over the world. Even at her wedding, she had Greek, Spanish, of course, British, because that's where she lived first. So it was a culture shock for all of us. And like MeShorn, I was bullied. I had to fight. Sometimes almost daily. It was terrible. I was traumatized. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm not bitter about it. It's just part of my experience. I didn't try and look for that, but I fought back. You were not going to bully me. But it was terrible because I was like, sometimes I didn't want to go to school. I really didn't. And people saying, I'm going to kick your ass just because of the way I looked and talked, really? Because now, of course, I got more acclimated with my accent, Obviously, I had a very heavy British accent when I came here. And they'll say, why you're trying to act white? I'm like, what the hell is that? And they say, okay, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm like, really? For that, just the way I talk? When I was in a military school, no problem. We had kids from all over the world. So I identify with MeShorn. He got in fights because of his name. And even the teacher made a mock out of him. And all the kids. And I thank him for serving. Because America does enjoy the liberties, everybody.
You've been listening to the podcast, The New Author, Uncle MeShorn, I'm Not Your Black, from Louisville, Kentucky. This conversation, the family, you're my family.